hours from now, there's going to be a long-awaited hearing in the Bryan Kohberger case. He is the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow, Idaho. Today's hearing could decide if the trial will remain there or move somewhere else. The defense team says the, quote, mob mentality against Kohberger in Moscow guarantees he cannot get a fair trial there. In a phone survey with potential jurors, one Moscow resident reportedly told the defense that people could burn the courthouse down if Kohberger were to be acquitted. Here to break it all down is trial attorney Karen Conti, who's also written a new book, Killing Time with John Wayne Gacy. Thank you for joining us this morning. Kohberger's defense team, they're hoping to get the case moved to Boise, about 300 miles away. What do you make of their argument for a venue change?
Well, I think it's a good one here. I think that, the judge is going to have to weigh a lot of factors. And there is a constitutional right to a jury of your peers from the cross-section of your community, which means where you live. On the other hand, you have a constitutional right to a fair trial by an impartial jury. So those two things have to be weighed. And when you look at the magnitude of the pretrial publicity here, the nature of the crime, and the small town where this sits, there is a really good argument that it should be placed somewhere else, like Boise, which is a city that probably has about 10 times the population.
What are the arguments you think we're going to hear from both sides in the hearing today?
Well, I think the defense is going to say, listen, this publicity was slanted. This publicity is pervasive. This publicity is just sensational and does not allow this guy to have a fair trial. There's also issues of safety, as you mentioned. Not only the safety of the jurors, because the jurors might feel great pressure to convict him, thinking if they acquit him, they could have personal safety issues, but also transporting the defendant. I mean, with the shootings that go on a daily basis these days, there is definitely a consideration that they want to make sure that the defendant is safe and doesn't get shot. So there are more than just the trial issues and the jury issues. It's really a question of safety and security as well.
This case, no doubt, going to get a lot of media attention once it gets underway. The trial, I should say, will get a lot of media attention because the case already has so far. How hard do you think it'll be to find jurors not exposed to the case, regardless of the venue?
Well, you don't have a right as a criminal defendant to a jury that doesn't know anything about your case, because with this day and age of social media and everybody knowing everything, that's just impossible. But I will tell you that judges have a very confident manner when they voir dire, meaning select the jury. And they have a lot of confidence in their ability to weed out the people who might know something about the case, but can put aside those preconceived notions and listen to the evidence and come up with a fair trial. But in my opinion, it's going to be very difficult for him to get a fair trial.
Kohberger's trial at this point still at least 10 months away. I know there have been there's been some cries from the families of the victims saying, why has this been delayed so long? Do you think that a change of venue would delay things even further?
I don't necessarily think that's the case. Boise, Idaho is a bigger town. They have better security systems. They have, a more sophisticated courthouse. And I think that this could actually speed it up. And when you have a high-profile case like this, and remember, it's a death penalty case, these judges want to get it right, because the last thing you want is to have a conviction and then have it overturned on appeal. So I think this could actually expedite the process of getting this case tried.
Okay, Bryan Kohberger returning to court today as his defense team argues for a venue change in this trial. Karen Conti, thanks for joining us, helping us break it all down.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.